place isn't just built, it's lived in, weathered by tide, salt, and time, until every surface carries something of what came before. That's the part easy to overlook and the part that matters most. Every surface holds a memory. Decals are how we tell it. Hi guys, today I want to show you some of the new features in XDP, some ease of life additions, but most importantly the new optimization cleanout section that allows you to instantly preview, inspect, and remove redundant decals inside an adjustable volume. So let's get started with the ease of life additions, and here I have this pier mesh, and as you can see I've added these decals here, and you can see the difference between a normal mesh and one that has all this nice detail painted. And I'm going to come here to this one that hasn't had anything done to it, and I'm going to just add some decals, Shift D to activate XDP, and I'm just going to stamp some decals here just to show you quickly what this new feature does. I'm not paying too much attention to what I'm doing. Obviously you can be more precise, but just to show you what these new features are. So I'm just going to add some other stuff here, and you can see how quickly it was to add some nice detail. But again, you can be more selective if you wanted to. So here the first thing is, if you scroll down to the erase section here, you have these new toggles. Erase enable slots only, and that's off by default, and the erase visible slots only. So I'm going to go with the erase enable slots only, and what that does is if I come here, I can erase just slots that have the enabled toggle on. So if I come here, you'll see that I can erase the decals only of this seaweed decal material, and not the paint peel that we just added before that. Now, if I don't have that on, then what happens is that if I come here to the eraser, then I can just delete everything, all those decals. Now you can do the same with the visible slots only, and it has to do with the display by tags, limit placement to visible, and it does exactly the same thing. So this is a way to control how you place those decals, but also how to remove them, in which case you can try different things out, and if you don't like them, you can just remove the ones that don't work or what have you. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. The second thing is that now we have this again, another toggle here in the in each material decal called exclude landscape terrain. So by default, if I enable this decal and I come here, actually I have them both on. No, actually it's correct. So I'm applying the paint peel on the landscape, but say I don't want to have that landscape be included, then if I toggle that on, I can't paint any decals on the landscape, but I can paint them here. So let me see why this is not working, and I know why, because the next part that I wanted to show you is that basically you can tag any mesh with the word terrain, and that will prevent that mesh from receiving any decals. So if I erase that tag and I come here and just again Shift D to activate, then I can add those decals on this mesh. Let's add them a little nicer maybe, so you can see. So here are those decals, and again if I come here to the landscape, because I have that toggle on, I can't add them on the landscape. So that's again how this works. And as I said, if you wanted to have any mesh not receive decals, any landscape or any other mesh, then you simply just tag it as I showed you, and call it with the word terrain. You can of course use the object filtering, which is part of XDP. You can find that here, in which case you can select any object and that would be filtered from receiving any decals. But again, this is another way of controlling how those decals are placed. So the other thing that I wanted to show you is now you have a better integration of X decal material with XDP, and you have now this brightness min and max, as well as the density low and high, and also the normal correction. And the way that works is that now that any instance of the decal that is placed in XDP writes to a custom primitive data that is read directly from the X decal material. So when you use that in combination, you have a lot of variations that you get from just a single material, decal material. So you can apply your materials, and you would get different brightness with each instance. Same with the density, and you can also correct the normal. But again, in conjunction when you're using XDP with X decal material. So a better they work better together. So basically that's how that works. Now there is another thing that I want to show you, but I will leave the details for another video, and that is the in the mesh edge decals, you now also have the ability to add ring edge decals. So if you click on this toggle, you get these options, and you can add ring decals around cylindrical objects like pipes, etc. So I'm going to turn that off, and let's move on to the big one here, which is the cleanup optimize. So I'm going to close this one too. So let's just add some more decals here, and let's come up here to the material slots, and maybe let's turn on some of this seaweed stuff, and just paint some stuff. I'm just painting a lot of stuff so that I can show you how that works, and maybe some wetness here and there. And so quickly I just painted all this stuff, and I probably have a lot of decals actually. Well, it says 77, but it's also including the ones that I had placed earlier. So the way this works now, if you come here to the cleanup optimize, you basically, wherever your mouse is, there is a shortcut. You can go create volume, but I just like to use the Shift V. And when I hit it, you'll see that we get this volume that you can drag around, and you can also adjust its size and its strength, and I'll just go over those in a minute. So basically how it works is that you have this volume, and let's just put it somewhere here, for example. And I'm going to come here to, well, first of all, you have the create volume, remove volume, and hide and show volume. And you also have this preview cleanup. So you can also access this button by hitting the P button, which is a shortcut. And once I hit P, you'll see that you get these red crosses, which indicate that we have some redundant decals. And if I'd like to see how that looks without them, I would first come here to the preview marker size and turn that to 0. And you can also see from here, so in this is a real-time volume where it shows you exactly how many decals are in that volume, in which case now we have 22 decals in that volume. And with the preview cleanup, it would remove the 10 and leave 12. And the way to see how it would look is you click this show cleanup, and when you do, you'll see that we can visualize basically the fact that we've added maybe decals that really don't contribute a lot to the scene and are sort of weighing down on the performance. So if I show again, you'll see that they're not really worth it. So I'm just going to go apply cleanup, and what happens is that I've removed 10 decals that made no difference in the scene, and I'm just left with 12 in that volume. So that's how it really works, and you can actually see the before and after. Here you have the cleanup volume size, the strength, so you can increase that to a bigger number and you can get more redundant decals. You have the same slot only by default, which means that it's comparing decal materials from the same material slot, and that's on by default. If you don't want that and you want to have across the board optimization, then you can toggle that off. You have the enable slots only, again similar to, and also the visible slots only, similar to what that eraser toggle were doing. It does the same thing, so it just checks across the visible or the enable slots here in the material. So if I turn these on and do it again, you'll see that we will have more decals that are showing. Let's see if that is true. Maybe because let's increase the strength maybe, and I come here, and then let's also have the markers. So you can see we have now, and then show cleanup again, from 35 we are removing 20, so we're just left with 15. So again, you can optimize and change these parameters as you like, depending on how much optimization you want. You also have the scale similarity. Now, scale similarity means that the comparison happens between a value between 0 and 1. 0 meaning that it is a very strict comparison and that only the decals of exact scale are compared, and at 1 it means that any size decal of the same material can be compared against each other, and the default is 0.35. And this is good if you're randomizing the scale, so this is a good number to start with. And then you also have the max removal percent, which is kind of like a safety cap if you want to have less number, so 50%, or whatever number it is that you want to have as a safety cap here. You also have the preview markers that I showed you. So here is the parameter. You can go down to 0, so you don't have to see those markers if you don't want to, or just raise them up if you're far away and you're covering a bigger area. And you also have this block painting while volume is active. So basically, as I'm moving this volume, you can see that I can move it. And I have this because accidentally you may have sort of clicked in an area where it's not selected the volume, but you still clicked on, say, a mesh or a landscape, and you've added decals, and you don't want that. So that's on by default. But if you do want to sort of turn that off, and then you start adding decals wherever you want, you can also do it by just, as I said, turning that off. So that's how this volume works. It's a way to control not only how the decals now are placed, but and how they look, but also a way to optimize and clean up your decals so that performance isn't sacrificed with visual fidelity. So you can come here, check it out. If you feel that it's not contributing enough, then just apply a cleanup and just delete them, and just you can repeat the process as many times as you want until you have both something that works great but also is optimized and performs great as well. So that's it. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And as I said, I'll be posting another one on the ring mesh decals in the future. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.